Hello. Okay, no.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome again to another episode of
A couple of opinions.
We're back.
Like that movie with the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, like we're back, like the movie with the dinosaurs.
I've seen it once when I was a child.
You didn't really miss anything, even though I'm pretty sure like I have some friends of mine that are fond of that movie, but it never impressed me.
No.
A lot of those '90s animated movies, some of them like what is it?
I don't know. Balto?
Land Before Time.
Oh, you hate Land Before
Time. I can't stand Land Before Time. It's sad to me. First one is sad.
Why? Because they die anyway.
Everybody dies.
Who doesn't die?
Yeah, but it's like they're dinosaurs. So it's like they're not doing of anything significant, but surviving. And they're doomed
It
anyway.
is a children's movie with songs.
Why the hell am I showing my kids a movie
about dinosaurs? They learn about dinosaurs in school, and they learn that they die.
We can watch way better stuff.
We also have movies.
Than them having feelings of attachment, not to cut you off, feelings of attachment to
I don't know. Do they even have? There's 80 million movies. Of course, there's attachment.
Yeah, that's why they make them. So it's like, oh, they look at a cute dinosaur, and every time I'm thinking they're all dead, they're all gonna die. It's over.
That's interesting. Never had that thought. Yeah. Never had that thought.
And then I
just thought they were cute.
And then that's it. But in the movies, they're like trying to survive.
Kids watch
they're
Bambi.
Trying to survive.
They watch Bambi.
Bambi is another movie that's like this is a little bit darker than it comes off. Like we just watch his mom die.
It's life.
It is.
They're going to have to learn sooner or later.
So why are we making it like...
when Meatball and Paw end up passing away, they learn then too.
Well, a very dark start to this.
Welcome to another episode of A Couple of Opinions. I'm Ebony and my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
And I'm LaRon. My pronouns are he, him.
You don't have to say all of them. I just get really... I'm really
they.
rehearsed with that from work.
I know. Yeah, I like they.
Yeah, okay. And this is our episode. We weren't planning on talking about the Land Before Time or We're Back or anything about dinosaurs. He just said we're back, and that recalled a memory for me. Like I can see the movie poster, and I've only seen it. I don't even know if I actually have seen it, but
I've seen it.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's a movie. It's a film.
So since we were talking about animated movies, we can go into what we've been watching before we go into other topics.
Yeah, sure. We could do that.
So Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
How did you feel? I mean, we both, from what I remember, we both liked it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Space Jam 2. I liked it. I was going in to hate watch it just because I can be the Grinch sometimes. There's no real reason why I was going into hate watch it, but I also was watching it to see like what was bad about it, because so many grown-ass adults were on the social medias like, man, that movie's trash. That movie sucked. It wasn't good. Even the director of Space Jam, the first Space Jam, they were like, this isn't good. LeBron isn't Michael Jordan. I almost said Michael James.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
James.
Yeah, he said he's not Michael Jordan. And it's like, well, no fucking shit. Of course he's not Michael Jordan. Did anybody think? Did anybody think? You know, we're going to use LeBron because he's Michael. Nobody thought that.
Yeah. We should have. I think we should have moved past that as a culture. I think
that movie was when we were children.
Yeah, we've already had that discussion about like comparing people and stuff. So
like when that movie came out, I Believe I Can Fly is on that fucking movie. R. Kelly was a celebrated artist. Mm-hmm. That man has been exiled for the most part. I mean, there are people who still, go for him, whatever. But like, this is a whole different time. Why would it be the same?
The 90s. Yeah, that movie. Yeah, it's very 90s. Like the players that are in it, even those players that are part of like the Monstars, they're pretty much like.
Like, and why would you make the same thing? People will complain, like, why did you remake Space Jam? It's called Space Jam 2, A New Legacy or some shit like that. Yeah. Like, it's a new movie, and I liked the spin they took on it. I did have some complaints, like, while watching the movie, but I can be pretty critical of stuff for no real reason. It's not, no real
Why not tell them the caliber of your, because I'll find it interesting.
I don't even remember what I said.
All right, so I remember what you said, and your main issues with the movie was
Oh my god, his outfits! Oh my god, I hated them so much. I wish they were black and sheeny. Like, it could have been like a vinyl look. Like, that I feel like would have been a lot more clean and crisp. What he wore made him seem like it was a Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, it did. I see what you mean. But to me, I take it as like a reflection of his character.
Oh yeah, flashy and gaudy,
yeah, because he's in search of that.
Well, if they're gonna do it, I feel like they should have really did it. I feel like they should have took it far. I mean, it's fucking cartoons.
I thought it was. I thought they did take it far.
No, babe, I'm talking about like
he was wearing
I'm talking about like Michael Jackson. Like, he could have been. It could have been like transitioning and stuff. I'm talking about like drag level, like a big collar, big sleeves, like looking like George Clinton in a fucking parliament kind of shit. Like,
his name was
I hated his name, Algae Rhythm.
They could have went there with it. He could have had him on some bootsy.
Like, yeah, like he could have had platform boots or just like I don't know, or digitized like Rhythm. Glasses or something like that. Like, they could have made him look real gaudy. And it's like so evident, it was and that's why I was like, if you're gonna do it this way, just make it clean.
He had a chrome.
If he's a villain
outfit on, chrome jean.
Oh
outfit.
God, that was so ugly.
That shit was drippy.
Ugh, it looked like True Religion.
The Migos was wearing at the
It looked
Rihanna
like True
show.
Religion. Oh my God.
At the Rihanna show when they came out in platinum. I thought.
It's okay.
Vaccinated Queen, huh?
Vaccine Queen. Yeah. Bang bang.
But
yeah, those outfits were so ugly.
With the chrome outfits at the Rihanna show, that shit. Oh my God, it's still too funny to me every time I think about it. And they all be moving, and they're like Muppets. They made me think of like the Muppet Band.
They move like the aliens at the beginning of The Fifth Element. They did. That's how they moved.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, the ones that brought The Fifth Element, or we're going to get The Fifth Element. Which we recently watched that too. Excellent movie. Excellent film. Yeah, we watched Space. What else did I have to say about Space Jam 2?
Another thing, outfit wise, LeBron's son.
Oh my God, I hate his jersey.
His final battle outfit.
Yes, so they had that T-shirt under the jersey, or maybe it was a hoodie and a T-shirt. It was too much. I hated it.
It was a long sleeve.
It was a long sleeve hoodie, and I think it had a cow neck.
No, he had like this. I remember he had like a like Nike Pro Combat like gear, and then he had on a cut off hoodie with like leather sleeves.
It was just
but
really
it had
bad.
like holes in it, like tattered like holes.
I don't know. It was bad. And then the jersey on top. And then when he was on, then when he went, spoiler alert, when he went to his dad's team, he just put his dad's team's jersey on that horrible outfit. Like, take that off. At least change it to a white T-shirt or a red T-shirt or something to complement that jersey. It just looks so. I didn't like it, and I'm not a stylist. I'm not a fashion person to be all whatever. But those things really bothered me.
Jumped out at
they
you.
really bothered me.
And I feel like other than that, that was it. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think it was little.
We both talked about like the fact that Bugs just popped up at the end. That shit just blew my mind. Even though like it's interesting. I'm sorry.
No, that was
it's
my
interesting.
niece.
I can go from, since I mentioned Bugs, I can share with you a bit of information I learned.
Okay.
The people that did the animation for the animated scenes, not the CGI scenes, haven't done any work since
the pandemic.
No, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Really?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did the
nice.
animation for that. Yeah, and I remember watching it, thinking like, man, this kind of makes me think of the animated scene.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Can we watch that this week?
Absolutely. That's on go anytime.
I love that movie. That is, oh man, I feel like not a lot of people watch that.
Really? You think so? I think it's to me it's one of those like cult iconic movies.
I don't know nobody that watched that. I mean, I also had friends who watched Girlfriends when we were in middle school. So
I mean, if we say people will hear this, please share with us about how you feel about Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Well, Space Jam 2 as well. We would love to hear that.
I love.
But Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
It seemed a little mature. I knew it was a little mature at the time, but it was such a good movie, and I love it. Oh, yeah. But I think it's one of those movies. Like, I didn't think it was a major picture. I thought it was like a Napoleon Dynamite kind of movie, where it was like people know about it. It came out, and that was it.
No. For Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a big deal, like in the industry. Cause
industry, I'm talking about regular ass people.
Oh, regular people too, because there was no movie that was like that. That was the first of.
I'd have to do a survey of my friends.
Yeah, where it was like, we're gonna put this real actor, and he's gonna be talking to a fucking cartoon the whole movie.
I'm talking to nobody the whole movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like
that's like not the Lion Book, the Jungle Book, the newer one.
Yeah. Where
Idris Elba was. Yeah. Whoever, Shere Khan. He was by himself the entire film. Like, they reported.
The kid that played Mowgli.
Yeah, he was just by himself the whole time.
Yeah. And before Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I really can't think. Maybe Cool World? And I think Cool World came out after. Cool World, had Brad Pitt in it. And it's the same type of movie. Concept. But it's adult. It's like adult. So, but I think
Framed Roger Rabbit is great. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Space Jam 2, it was a good movie. Anybody who says it wasn't good,
biases. Yeah,
they do, but it's like, it was a good movie. My only complaint is Algie Rhythm, and he still was a good villain. Mm-hmm. His outfit was just weird. I am also interested into why they chose him, like casting wise. Mm-hmm. Like
a friend of the show, Jay, he mentioned that Who Framed Roger Rabbit not Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Space Jam 2 is Hook.
What?
Yeah, they saying like.
It's Hook. The Hook?
It's like Hook. No, Hook.
Like
remember
the movie Hook?
He took the family and then turned them against Peter and them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
the plot. I was like, in terms of like reception, I was like, in terms of ratings,
where we go? As far as the story structure. Like,
they took his kids. But no, that's kind of what happened, but they only took Jack. Jack was the only one who started to turn on his dad. Mm-hmm. His daughter... was like, you're a mean man who needs a mommy. Like, she wasn't for the shit at all the whole time. Like, and Hook kidnapped them first. Mm-hmm. He didn't like, we're gonna have fun.
Did he kidnap them?
No. Mm-hmm. In Space Jam 2, he was just like, oh my god, this world is so cool. I'm a computer nerd. Mm-hmm. That was also my complaint, where he was like, my dad doesn't celebrate me. It's like, you have multiple monitors at your whim, and who knows what kind of expensive software you have to create whatever video game, like your basketball video game thing or whatever. I'd say that was a little bit invested. Mm-hmm. And maybe he doesn't understand it, or maybe didn't pay attention to all of it because he's really pushing for you to play basketball, but it was, I feel, a little exaggerated. But I mean, he's also a child, so, but I felt like it was a little exaggerated, like, we're playing your video game right now. And high stakes game, but we're playing your video game right now. Like, you created this, and that's because I gave you all of the tools you needed to create it. And I was even in your room at the beginning of the film, like, oh, wow, Dom, that's cool. He's like, yeah, Dad, it's fun. Remember fun? Yeah. Remember fun? Remember fun? Yeah. And it was.
Yeah, I remember you said that. Like, you were like, it doesn't.
I feel like they didn't drive that enough.
He's a bad dad thing doesn't really.
Yeah, it did. It like him being an absent father or like not so celebratory.
Really make any sense.
No, I don't think it was emphasized enough because like. Had in the beginning of the film, he's like, Dad, look at this video game. He could have unplugged it like, I told you I'm not here for, like, it could have been something to that nature, and it would have, I feel like that would have made more sense that he would feel like his dad doesn't celebrate him, but he's like, yeah, son, that's cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the hell this is about, but that's cool. You know, it was like, or it's like, oh, sorry, I have a call. Right. Or if he was too busy for him or something, like, Hook. That didn't happen. And that's how, Peter was in Hook, where he was like, I don't got time for this child. So like, Mora, come get these kids. I'm on the phone. And Mora was sick of him and threw his phone out in the snow, and he went out and dug for it, and the dog was helping. Like, that seemed a lot more, that made more sense for Jack to be mad at Peter, where here it didn't seem that much. Like, it just felt like LeBron James was in the movie as LeBron James and acting horribly as a bad dad.
Another bit of information I picked up, like, you know, searching through the Twitters and the Googles and all that. Somebody brought up the point that LeBron wears his do-rag in the movie, so that's like history or something. Like, basically,
I don't know.
We haven't seen too many do-rags in feature films where like someone put one on like before.
Well, I don't know about do-rags, but I know black women never wear bonnets to bed. On TV or in film, and that's a very blanket statement. Like, there are some women who do, but there are women who do. Like, it's just like black woman, she got a blowout or it's her natural hair, and she's just laying next to her white husband usually. It's like, good night, honey, and then no, and they're not silk or satin pillowcases either. It's like, that's not real. Where's the bonnet? And people are like, that's how we know nobody black is in the writing room or nobody black is on set who can be like, we need a bonnet. She can have mine for this scene. Like, she needs a bonnet. This is not real. And I think, I don't know what show or movie it was where people were like, oh my God, she's wearing a bonnet. Mm-hmm. Finally. Yeah. It's such nuanced stuff, but yeah. I mean, I'd believe it. I don't remember a do-rag. Yeah.
I didn't remember the scene neither, but there were points where I probably like maybe got up. But there's a scene where he's talking to
maybe it was in the his wife.
His wife at night before they go to bed, and
was she wearing a bonnet or a scarf?
Nah, she had the shorter cut, but yeah, she would still need a bonnet.
I wear do-rag at night.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. So yeah, I like Space Jam too. I feel like
I probably won't watch it again.
I spoke a lot about it on the other show that I'm doing, but I got a little to more detail about it, but I didn't really have any problem with it. I appreciated the fact, well, one, it is a giant WB commercial, but WB has displayed this behavior before. Let's take a look at Animaniacs. Like Animaniacs, they throw their properties in.
In fact, there was a statue of Dot in like a conference room in one of the scenes.
Yeah. So that isn't new, like that kind of behavior. I mean, they just did it on a grand scale because, hey, this is a big budget movie where there's also a lot of innovative things going on in the movie as far as like how they made it. And like I mentioned before, the fact that I can't think of the name of the company, Light Industry Magic, something like that. I know that's not the exact name, but that's the name of the company that does the animation for the movie, but they also did the animation for Roger Rabbit. So yeah, and there's a ton of other things that you could look up as far as what they did that was innovative about the movie. But to me, I think overall,
on its surface, it was a good movie. Though, like I had my little complaints about things that they're not really like. It's not like that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's not like that movie with Taraji P. Henson. Like, how did she get on the boat? Or it's not one of those. None of those things happen in the film. It's also a children's movie. Like, this is not for anyone over the age of probably like 13. Quite honestly,
it's a Looney Tunes episode with SpongeBob. What?
I don't know.
LeBron. It's a high budget Looney Tunes episode with basketball and LeBron James. That's kind of how I would explain it. Like,
and I think people were mad about Bugs Bunny being the director from Space Jam, the first one. He was like, I don't remember what he said, but he was mad about how Bugs Bunny was, and it's like Bugs Bunny was clearly the leader, so he would have sacrificed himself.
Mm-hmm. I think if we watch the first one, Bugs Bunny displays a lot of leadership. Like, he puts himself in the position to be the leader when it's necessary. I don't know. It sounded like he was just mad and hating. Yeah, I don't know. We can nitpick on it. I haven't looked too much into it, but to me, I just think on the surface level, it's like, it's not that serious. I think
he was just mad.
For whatever reason, a lot of the things that I think are projects that LeBron is involved with tend to get, like, they're so supercharged that people they feel a lot of different ways about it. And I feel like I'm always looking from the inside out. I mean, from the outside in, and I'm just like, I don't get why everybody feels so strongly about this. This is very strange. Or like, there's these stories about people like pulling the heads off the bobblehead LeBrons in toy stores. Yeah, they have like this. You know how they got the toy merch deals. Yeah, so and it's like people are pulling the heads off the LeBron toys in stores and stuff. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway,
strange.
So to other current things, we were recently just talking about this, but the babies.
Wait, that's not all we watched.
No, we just talked about it though.
Space Jam 2 is not all we watched. We watched Loki. We watched.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about Loki?
I mean, I don't really know too much about it, but I mean, my man was in that episode, so we can definitely talk about it. In that episode.
I haven't been featured in anything on Marvel yet.
Excuse Jonathan Majors, honey. You know this.
Oh, that's you mean?
Yes. Oh my God.
I just the people to notice, but they went in.
Oh, we also watched the Proud Family movie.
Yeah, that was fun. Yes, since we're still on animated, we can go straight to
the Proud Family movie.
That was a lot.
So this was his first time watching the film.
This is my first time watching it, but it's a lot. I appreciate the Proud Family because it's very black, and I've had this conversation recently. But like a lot of the stuff that they were coming out with, like in the early 2000s, was very like
black as hell.
Yeah, very black, and they had it's a brand thing. Like they just had the style, the music, like the themes, the motifs.
The theme song was sung by Destiny's Child, and I think written by Solange, and Solange also sang it.
Yeah, and the movie is like the show, but like on steroids, because the show doesn't really ever have genetically altered peanut soldiers. Yeah, that was there was when she was, I think she was downloading pirated music one episode and like went into the internet, and she was like interwebs. She went inside the interwebs.
Yeah, I believe that's what happened. She was like surfing. I think she was like actually like surfing. She was dating like this boy. I think his name was Napster.
Wow.
I don't remember. I don't think his name was Napster. That's probably copyright. But it was around like that kind of thing. Some black boy, he had like locks that framed his face and like black circle sunglasses. And her dad clearly was like, I don't want you dating that boy. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So there is some sort of like regular showism to the Proud Family on some episodes, but usually it's just like teenage girl stuff.
Yeah, but this one, boy, they made it like the Avengers of like animated Disney, because there's a lot going on at the end.
Yeah,
they had like the what the fuck is it was like a sky ship. It was like an airship.
Oh, the blimp.
Yeah, it was like, this is crazy. The stakes are high.
Yeah,
in the Proud Family.
And it was a big event when they were like,
Washington,
the Proud Family
Carver
movie.
Second in his clone, and then it was like, man,
peanut clones.
Very imaginative. The show, like I was saying before, man, the Proud Family as a show is already a gem. The movie is like on 10. Like it takes what the show is, and they just put like a serious threat in it, and I don't know. Is this George Washington Carver guy? Is he like in the show?
No,
like, no, he's just in the movie. So
yeah,
he's a movie original villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Man, but it was deep though. The fact that this man was so smart that he was making sentient peanut people, and then like the little the Rastafari peanut guy. He was the good one. He was just chilling on the island with his daddy, because I guess he's a creator.
They were on the same island, but they were like on another part of the island. I think.
Okay, yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, I hit out here," and it's like, "Oh my god, that man's going crazy." Yeah. He's like, "That's my clone."
Man, deep. Every time I think about that movie, I fall into a rabbit hole because I'm just like, what?
Really?
Yeah, because this man was making people from peanuts, and he made a clone of himself, and the clone of himself went mad
and made all the peanut clones.
It's like that episode of Rick and Morty where it's just you made.
Yeah, it's a very Black Family Rick and Morty vacation episode.
But this is before Rick and Morty, so it's that trippy sci-fi like.
Yeah, I think it was also a summer film. I want to say I think it was a summer film. Yeah. I feel like that makes sense because they went on vacation. Yeah,
I think to me it's a little underappreciated for what it is, because it's giving you that sci-fi, it's giving you the Black family sci-fi type story, and that's how many of those stories do we got? Another topic that we'll be talking about later is one of them, which is
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, Lovecraft Country. How many times do we get like?
I never saw Underground, and I guess I need to. It was I don't know. There's a couple of shows about like the Underground Railroad and Harriet Tubman and stuff, and I don't think who directed Lovecraft Country, who was involved, Misha Green. She was involved with Underground too, and those are both shows that were canceled after one season that Journey Smollett was also part of. If I'm correct, I just saw somewhere like she did Underground too. I never saw it, so I'm not. I know that there was another one with, I think, Cynthia Erivo as Harriet Tubman. Or was that the movie? I mean, I know she was in... I don't know, man. I mean, I don't really see it for her, but...
I think, even though, I guess, technically we just are switching topics, but I think and this is, I know this.
Well, I mean,
you wanted
Jonathan
to talk
Majors
about
is in
it.
that and Loki.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about it, had the disappointment of it being canceled, but I wanted to say that, you know, for everybody that's listening, I think that we shouldn't overreact about it being canceled, because one, it's a great show, and if you got one season of a great show, everybody involved with it is elevated. So everybody's career and like everybody's elevated. Like, it was such a great one
like,
shot.
Oh my god, it
season.
really was such a good show. Like the one episode that was focused on his younger sister. Mm-hmm. I don't remember her name. And with the two girls and the curse. Yeah. Oh my god, she did so good. Yeah. She did so good, and I think I would like to see a spinoff with her.
Yeah, I think
that's what. No,
I think we will get
something
more stuff from that world. She just
signed a deal.
Whether it's graphic novels or books or like.
I think she signed a deal.
Maybe
not the girl, not the daughter.
You know, another show, but I'm sure that somebody's going to want to make money with this IP. Like, it's not like it's just going to. Should we?
No, I'm looking. I think Misha Green. No, I'm just looking it up. I think she signed a deal with Apple TV. Yeah, or Apple Post, whatever that is. Oh no, with Apple post Lovecraft Country cancellation. So we might get it for Apple TV. Oh no, she's developing small screen projects for stream. I don't know. Maybe we'll get.
It's gonna be something else. It won't be. But if we get more of that IP, I would say it'll probably be like a graphic novel or something like that. Like I would be willing to bet, because they're gonna want to make some money off that IP. They're gonna want to tell more stories in that world. But will it be something that goes to screen? Probably not, because it was so good. Yeah,
it was really good, and it was fine that it ended. The last episode was pretty anticlimactic from what I can remember.
I love the last episode. I remember a lot of people were saying that they felt different ways about it.
Yeah, it was fine. I think it was a good way to wrap up the show, but especially because there's no second season. But I think it was just kind of anticlimactic how it ended and how he died, and it was like, oh, yep, that's it. Like, it wasn't. I mean, yeah, it was just very conclusive, but it didn't give me that like wow. At the end, because I was like, yeah, he's gonna die. I was like, I have no doubts about that. I know that man's gonna die, and he's not coming back. Like, this is not a what channel is that? I don't freaking know. This isn't one of those movies where like, or these shows where like he's gonna come back. Mm-hmm. No, that man's gone.
Well, that's the thing though. I think that with the themes of the show and him and his death, and like the fact that he like spoke to his ancestors and things like that, I think it kind of put him on a pedestal where he's kind of like deified in a way, like where like, you know, because his ancestors was kind of like deified in that kind of way, and I think that they could tell more stories with him, like where they would.
I mean, they could tell more stories with. Well, not everybody, because I don't really care to see what else Letty does, but like his aunt, when she was out, you know, in other dimensions or whatever the hell. Yeah. That could be a series on its own.
Expansive. Yeah, of course, she's the most expansive character, because that was what she was. She was that explorer, and that's what her. I think that if anything, we will get her daughter, because they set it up like that, where she was writing the comics, she was making the comics, but like the comics were like where she was going, and then like she was naming herself in that way through telling her story in that way. So that's what I think that's what it was about. Like,
but I think it was what the next season was going to be like 100 years in the future. So it's kind of just like,
yeah. I really do think we'll get more Lovecraft Country. I think that more people probably need to watch it again, because it's a lot to digest, and I think that there's more that people overlooked. I think as a society, sometimes now we so quick to be like, yeah, we want another season, like. Well, we haven't even unpacked. Yeah, and I know you niggas haven't unpacked.
Because things just move so quickly. Yeah. They move so quickly. I mean, it's about to be August. But things just move so quickly, and people want things. I mean, we talked about before. People want things instantly, and it's like we want this to continue. And also, in a streaming age, we can just binge watch stuff. You know. Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack for Lovecraft Country. There's a lot there.
I would probably read the book.
There's a lot for you to look at.
Like, I probably actually will read the book, because I'm sure that there's stuff.
Yeah, the themes that they're telling you about, the things like they're introducing you to. I'm sure that there's things that the average person that watch, they overlooked it. It's a very symbolic kind of like.
There was also the controversy with like some woman was in blackface that was part of the cast or something. Also not really liking Letty's sister's storyline, like black people or black women probably more specifically, or in more majority who weren't really happy with her sister's storyline of like wanting to be a white woman. And still like hooking up with this other white woman who's pretty much the enemy.
And that story alone, that story has people need to look at that. Like somebody could do.
It's much more than the surface level of what we're seeing. Because I just saw it as somebody who was, not seen as desired and nothing like that. But they see that these white people, and also it's a time when black people wasn't getting much of anything and white people had a lot of stuff, and it's like I just want to be that because they have access to everything. Like I want to work in the store, and it wasn't until I was a white woman that I was able to work in this store. Or that I was, even seeing, I don't have any credentials as this white woman, but they want to give me this access. And so I think it was more than I want to be a white woman. I think it was more I want to have what white women have, which is also not really all that great.
To be a human being, like, to be like reputable, to be valid, to be like seen,
to be accepted and be in places,
and to be a part of a society where you're not like an offcast of
and
culture
I mean,
and society.
It's like. It's kind of like that double-edged sword because it's like, yes, I want to have access like these white people, but it's like, why do you want what white people have? Black people can be like, it's a double-edged sword kind of thing. But I think her story was more than I want to be white.
Yeah, no, I definitely, no, I never really took it so much as that like it was just a self-hate thing. And then even if it was a self-hate thing, then we got to explore as to why like her
why she because her sister's pale as hell and skinny as hell.
Only her environment, you know what I'm saying? She's like who she is, and then like it's clear.
Yeah, and the couple in the show reflect this trope where it's a dark-skinned man and a light-skinned woman who are in a relationship. I mean, the Proud Family does it. My Wife and Kids does it. Martin does it. Like all these shows do it.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So there's like there's like the same thing with Space Jam too. It's like the blackface thing, that's not some little thing at all. But besides that, there are some like little things here and there that's kind of like I don't know. But overall, it is a immaculate production of a television show. It's really good. It's sci-fi, so I freaking love it. It's black people. Fine-ass black people at that, acting-ass black people at that, because let me tell you, Journey Smollett will act her ass off from Selma Lord Selma on. But, I mean, I guess it sucks we don't get to season 2, but the fun thing about binge watching is you can watch it again.
Yeah. And, read the books.
And I think it's interesting, when we watch Lovecraft Country, we're also watching Watchmen.
Yeah.
And they kind of surround the same... terrorist part of history in the United States.
Covers some of the same events and people coping with those through like extraordinary means and so on and so forth.
But what's interesting too, I mean, this is probably the last thing about it, but what's interesting too, speaking of Watchmen, I would have liked to see the new world that they were going to create in season 2, and I wonder if it would have been something like what Watchmen ended up being. Like the world that was Watchmen at the time. Or maybe not similar to it, but like what that would have looked like. Because it was like the United States was separated into these different areas and stuff. Like she put out like what the concept was going to be for season 2. And people were like, man, we really would love to see that. I would love for somebody, Tyler Perry, what? No, actually.
No.
Never mind.
I don't think that's
I was going to say, since Tyler Perry want to save everybody, he could be... like give money, be like, here, you can use my studio. I would love for that to possibly happen, but that man don't need to touch not one script, not one script, not one wig, not one casting decision. What?
I don't even think the thing with Lovecraft Country is like they don't have people to sign off on it. I think they just don't have the same minds involved. And they know better to like not
just let it go.
It's like
I guess so. I don't know much about
filmmaking. Go get another season because it like the quality would drop.
Because then it would end up being like what SpongeBob is now.
Yeah, exactly. So
or that Patrick show.
I think it's way better to have this really great thing and have like what was doable in that one season. Everybody's career gets elevated. We got a great story, and we might be able to revisit those stories later down the line instead of trying to do it again and fuck it up. because there's a lot of that happening. Because it ain't even a matter of like money, because HBO.
They got it. They definitely got it.
Yeah. And they got the minds, so.
For sure. So I am always watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and All Stars 6 is happening right now. There's probably going to be like literally two. I think one season just wrapped of Drag España or Spain. Drag Race UK season 3 is happening at the end of this year. The second season was at the beginning of this year. I'm just painting a picture. If you don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race, like RuPaul is terrorizing us with season after season of Drag Race content. I think they're bringing back Drag Race Holland season 2, and I heard that season 1 was horrific. It was horrible. Like, people are like, it's the worst I've ever seen, and they're bringing back a season 2. But All Star 6...
Isn't bad drag still good drag? Or is bad drag just bad?
I have no clue. I've never seen it because it could just be bad. Like, when we watched the last... I just showed you the challenge and the runways, but this last episode, it was an acting challenge for the Maxi Challenge, which is like the big challenge of the episode. And it was Ru American Horror Story. Everything has Ru's name in it, which RuPaul is his real name. But Ru American Horror Story Coven Girls. And it was about like this witch acting agency, and they had like some powers, something. It was just all over the place. And it had some characters that weren't in American Horror Story Coven. Like, there was the bearded woman and the Siamese twins from Freak Show. There was the Madison kind of character from Coven. There was the Myrtle and Jessica Lange characters from Coven. Everybody else pretty much was from Coven. And then all of a sudden, what's her name? What is her name with No More Wire Hangers? Whatever. Mommy Dearest, the woman who Mommy Dearest is about. I cannot call her name right now, but she pops up, like, not the actual person because she's dead, but she pops up as a character on the show, and then they did a 70s disco. It was
had nothing to do with
right.
The characters, they weren't even characters from Coven.
It was ridiculous.
I was like, yo,
and it was too damn long. It was too long. It was ridiculous, and it was very much in RuPaul's Drag Race fashion. But I bring that up because I was then talking to Laurent about, I was like, have you ever seen American Horror Story Coven? And I don't remember what your initial reaction and response was. You didn't see all of it, right? Yeah, at least half of it. And I was like, I feel like you'll like it because it's like got magic. It's also action packed and it's violent. It's the most liked season of American Horror Story by general audiences, not by like, there's American Horror Story watchers who, like, you know, everybody ranks what their favorite one is. Most people like Murder House or Hotel. Asylum. I like Asylum. A lot of people don't like Asylum. No, they don't like Asylum. It was all over the place. The aliens were there, and then there was
there's always mention of devil aliens make an appearance in anything they're not supposed to be in, or they weren't in originally. People like,
there was like an interracial relationship at the time. Yeah, but most people, Coven is anybody's favorite season. It's usually in people's top 5 of seasons. But it was very much like the Mean Girls, Clueless of American Horror Story. Very much a cult. I feel like it has like that cult classic kind of thing about the season. But it's also based on some history, some misguided history, because who is it? Papa Legba? Is he the one? Yeah. In the show, right? Yeah. Because what else did we just watch with Papa Legba?
There was we were watching the originals, and a guy named was
Papa Tunde, right? Yeah. But anyway, Papa Legba, I don't think who they had in the show and who Papa Legba is were the same person from what I've read, like in real life. But some of the characters on the show are based on people in real life, so I was like, I figured he would watch it. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, well, maybe what we can do, This is
the second time we've mentioned Papa Legba in the show.
Is it?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, we need to.
Maybe like burn some incense.
Yeah, we need to cleanse the house probably.
Well, Papa Legba was good, so.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think we want to invite him into our lives.
He's a good guy. Yeah,
he's a good guy, but I don't think I want him in my life right now. I don't think I can handle that. Right. I think we also need to do more research, because there's all kind of stuff all over the place that's not true. But besides that, I was saying I think you would be interested in it. So then I was like, I stopped watching after Freak Show, I think. And I really liked Freak Show, too. You didn't like it.
Yeah, I just think it's like just triggering. That's it. Like it make it. We've talked about this before. Like for me, when something's scary, it's scary because it's tension. It's scary because there's a threat. Like
I don't even know if you can call. I mean, there's scary moments, but
and then there's scary,
I think it's just supposed to be disturbing.
And then there's scary when they're just showing you gruesome images, or something looks ugly, or something looks.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Really scary to me. That's just like disturbing. Showing me gruesome things. Like that's
I guess so.
Which I feel like life is full of, and if I want to look at gruesome things, I look at real gruesome things.
I think they just wanted to take. Asylum was a period piece,
except
like a time period thing.
Of course, like the fact that this was a reality for. Like I appreciate that part. Yeah. Where it's like these are,
and they do that. Like they show, like the characters are like people, you know, when they show like their reality, their relationships, and how they feel about stuff and everything.
From what I understand, there were some characters that were actually like disabled people and stuff. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it was honest casting, but what? I don't know what I was saying, but anyway, I ended up reading. I was like, I didn't watch. I stopped at Hotel because I was like, this feels like Murder House with vampires. So I just didn't watch it, and I fell off from there. We watched like one episode of 1984, and then stopped. So then I went on Wikipedia and just read them all. So I guess I kind of watched them. That kind of falls off at the end of the American Horror Story part of this podcast, but it was something that we were like, we were watching a lot of YouTube videos though of like recaps of those seasons. Because I was like, I don't feel like watching all of those seasons. I don't feel like catching up. I'm not that invested, but I did want to know what happened. So then I just read them all. So now I know what happens. But I would definitely watch American Horror Story Coven again, especially with LaRon, and see like his reactions and talk about it and stuff. Because I think it was really good. And also Angela Bassett's in it. So what's there not to watch?
Yeah. How many other seasons is Angela Bassett in? She's not.
She's in a couple. She was in Freak Show. She was a 3-titty woman.
Oh, yeah.
And she was in a relationship with a strong man. And I don't remember what that was, but it was a pretty complex relationship or something like that. She was really sensual. She had like nipple tassels and all that stuff. She was in that season. I don't know what other season she was in, but those two. Angela Bassett made an appearance on Drag Race though. She was just on the screen, like on Zoom or whatever.
Oh, okay. And
was talking about acting and stuff because it was American Horror Story. That was. Wow. They were like, oh my God, Angela Bassett. Then the camera, she was like, all right, bye. And they were like, ah! It's like fangirling. I was like, yeah, anybody would most likely react that way to Angela frickin' Bassett. Like, that's Tina Turner. That's not Tina Turner. But, yeah, and then you watched Loki, most of it by yourself. And then I came in. I didn't even know you were watching it, but I came in. I guess the last episode.
Probably like the last 2 episodes you've seen.
Yeah, I think I saw half of the second to last, and then I saw the last episode, and I thought it was cool. I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, these 2 topics are kind of relevant in the sense that there is time travel in both. There is the prospect of multiple timelines in both. There's a lot of, from what I recently have learned about the world of American Horror Story is. There's some continuity errors that have manifested because of the time travel thing. Like, who's the Supreme? Who's who? Like, is she the version of herself in that timeline or da-da-da-da? So I guess, these topics kind of do overlap in the sense that there's these themes that they connect. But, yeah, Loki was good. As you mentioned, he had an actor that you are fond of.
Yeah, man, I love Jonathan Majors. I told you I love you and him. Well, I don't love him the way I love you, of course. But I love y'all's noses. I love that wide set nose. Give me a Negro nose. But, I mean, he's just also a handsome man. But y'all have wide set noses, and I love that.
Yeah. He did great. And it's good to see him to be like, a villain or a major character, and he's gonna be getting some Marvel money and stuff. Yeah, playing a different character.
Because I haven't seen. Oh, he's in that cowboy movie with Regina King, and oh shit, it's so many people in that film. I think Lakeith is in it. Naturally, I feel like
I was about to say not the one we watched.
No, it didn't. I don't think it came out yet. No, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna say I don't know. No,
the Black Cowboy movie with.
Oh no, not the Philly Cowboy movie. Okay. I think Idris might be in this too, but they're like.
Damn.
I don't know. He is. He was on the train. Right.
I know what you're talking about.
So he is in it.
You're talking about.
Yeah, like that. There's that. He's in that cowboy movie.
That's
so it's nice to see him in different roles because I have only seen him in Lovecraft Country. That's the first time I saw him, but he was in some other stuff, and it was very much like time period, like black movie kind of like black. I don't know if I could say black history because I don't think there were historical pieces, but black, very much what people would call a black movie or black production. But this was very refreshing to see him act, especially like as I guess you could call him a villain. I don't see him as a villain, really.
Well, that version of him,
right. Yeah. But I mean, he says there's worse versions of him.
Mm-hmm. So we'll get to see those.
It just sounds like he's like, well, I guess I have this job, so I'm here and I'll do what I can with it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I appreciate it. I like what Marvel is doing with the direction of like their cinematic worlds, with the fact that. I think I've talked about this with pretty much everybody I know, but every, franchise is going multiversal so they can sell you more stuff. Mm-hmm. So that means it's like every franchise you can think of, there's going to be like 50 versions of everybody so they can sell you more characters that you like. So Marvel's doing it where they're going in the direction of like being like the comics. Star Wars is doing it. They're going in a direction where there's going to be multiversal, like timeline travel, different, all this other kind of stuff. DC, they're trying to do it. They've already actually done it with their shows, but they kind of shit the bed
with their shows.
Yeah, well, not really. There's a huge fandom for those shows, but they aren't. Like breakout, like everything that everybody's going to be watching. I mean, people do love, Flash and Arrow and what's the other one? Legends of Tomorrow.
Supergirl.
There's so many of them. Batgirl, Stargirl, all these CW shows. Yeah, all the girls are there. Titans, like they just want to sell you more stuff. They want to give you more of what you want. So why not just make them? There's 50 versions of the Flash. Which one you like? Pick one. We'll give it to you. Like
Spider-Man. We're talking about it. I was there's like 5 Spider-Man.
Yeah, you seen Spider-Verse. Hey, which Spider-Man you like? You like the Noir Spider-Man? You like Mecha Spider-Man?
Of course I like the Black Spider-Man.
You want Miles? You want your Negro Spider-Man? We'll give you Negro Spider-Man. We'll give you urban teenage Spider-Man. Like whatever you want. We got it, baby. Come on. Like that's it. So. But it's just fun to see them, going in the direction of what the comics is, where there's different timelines, different versions, different worlds that'll be running into each other. And I guess I'm more excited about seeing where Star Wars will go with it because that has never been a thing in Star Wars. There was never any notion of real time travel.
Star Wars is pretty much, this is it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
This is a storyline. Now, this is this person's child and this person's parent. Oh, look, it's this person's parent, and this is,
it's just been one
gaggery,
line. We're going one way in one direction,
which is wild because they're in space.
Yeah,
you would think that they would probably like, oh, we traveled too fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that,
we're in the wrong time. Yeah,
didn't it happen in Star Trek?
Yeah, Star Trek does time travel. But if you've seen the Lego Star Wars special, which was like a Christmas theme, there's timeline travel. There's universal travel. Like they're going into different realities and stuff. So that was your little hint. This is where we about to be going. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's happening. It's all of that.
I think that's pretty much all we watched. I mean, there's other DComs, like Disney Channel original movies that we'll be watching. Mm-hmm. I know Stepsister from Planet Weird was on your list.
Yeah, Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior.
And there was another, I don't know if it was one of the High School Musicals that I was like, please, can we watch it? I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. It was one of the girly ones. Maybe Cheetah Girls? I feel like it might have been Cheetah Girls, actually. Have you ever seen Cheetah Girls? I'm going to say no.
I think I've seen enough of it to know. I've seen, yeah.
I'm offended. No, I'm joking. I mean, Cheetah Girls. You were never the target audience for Cheetah Girls.
They went to like Bali or wherever they was at.
Yeah, they did go to India, and that was the one that Raven wasn't in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheetah Girls was a great time. The Colored Girls. Even the girl that was supposed to be white, she's not white in real life. We didn't need her to be white. She could have been herself. Or her, whatever. But, I can't remember. I want to, Cadet Kelly? I feel like it was a girly or one that was marketed towards the girls. We could watch Rip Girls. Did you ever see that one?
I would probably watch it because it's surfing.
Yeah, there's Rip Girls. I don't know, actually. Motocross. We could watch the one with the twin basketball players.
I already said Wendy Wu Ho. Isn't that girly?
Maybe, but like,
you watched Descendants?
That's something you want to watch. We didn't watch Descendants. Yes, we watched all of it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, what?
That was
watch a girl turn into a dragon. I would never forget that. What?
That's Maleficent's daughter.
Yeah. And then I watched.
I can't remember.
The girl turn into the ocean, and then
that's Ursula's daughter. Yeah, I can't remember.
How do they get these people to come to school? Bro, if I can turn into the ocean, you cannot get me into a school. She didn't turn into the ocean.
She turned into an octopus.
Well, if I can transform into anything, you can't get me into a school.
They're Disney characters.
You can't. If I can do that, especially if I can turn into a dragon, you definitely not getting me into a school.
Well, I mean, it's just a matter of fact of life. It's not like
it's a matter. What?
It's not everybody is some magical something other whatever. It's Disney princess and prince and villain world. It's not like they're here in the real world with us. People like us don't exist there. Like that's very like nobody was like, oh, she turned. No one was surprised. I don't know.
I think that they were surprised.
I think they were just kind of like, oh my god, they're fighting. That was it.
I'm pretty sure people were shocked.
No, honey, everybody. There's the fairy godmother. It's just Disneyland. It is Disneyland. There's no regular ass people there. Even the Beast, the boy, the prince, who's the Dragon Girl's boyfriend. He's the Beast's son. He let out some weak ass roar when they were fighting and did nothing. He just jumped in the water. I don't know why they wouldn't have him transform or have hair or something like that, but maybe they didn't have enough money in the CGI budget. But
there's only one person transforming in one of these movies. Damn it! Each one.
It's your turn this time. Yeah. I don't remember which film it was. They're doing another Descendants too, by the way.
Of course they are.
Another one
because they're making money.
I can't remember what the movie was, but it was some girly something.
If you get it to 3, you might as well go for 4. Fast and Furious.
Was it High School Musical?
They're gonna make 8 of them.
Huh? Oh my god!
If we can make 3, we can make 4. If we can make 4, we can make 5.
Do you remember the movie that I said, the Disney Channel original movie? I was like, yeah, we could watch this one. I don't remember. We can watch the one where the guy makes the pop star, like an AI pop star.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much a reality.
Which now. Is totally a reality with Vocaloids now.
Well, now I mean an actual person pop star.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they make them. Oh wait, you mean like the
she's in concert, on stage, dancing and like.
Oh yeah, that's some Vocaloids. Yeah, they come up, they become the thing. Like
they look like us. Like she looks like a. I mean, clearly because she's played by a human in the casting.
Oh wait, I'm talking about real life, and you were talking about the movie.
I'm talking about the movie. Yes.
Oh, okay. But I'm saying like in real life.
It happens in real life.
Now.
Not like holograms. Like he just made an AI girl. I don't even know if I mean, it's artificial intelligence and I don't even know if she was a robot. Whatever. We can watch the movie and find out. The boy from Phil of the Future plays the boy. Do you remember Phil of the Future?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Did you ever watch Dog with a Blog?
Fuck no. And that was past my time. Did you watch Dog with the Blog?
Yeah, I did. And I was like, this show is weird.
Why did you watch that? I'd rather watch Mark.
How would you not watch something called Dog with a Blog? When I see that on the TV Guide app, I see that on there, I'm like, I gotta go watch that. I gotta go press.
I'd rather watch Martha Speaks. Do you know Martha Speaks?
That sounds scary.
It's not. It's a PBS show where a dog ate, I want to say, alphabet soup, and then she could talk.
Oh, I know that show.
Yeah.
How is that any different than Clifford?
Clifford doesn't talk.
Clifford
He's just a big dog. No, he talks to other animals, but I don't think he talks to the people.
I think they might have changed that because I could have sworn he was chopping it up or something.
I don't think so.
They might have retconned what you thought Clifford could do because now
maybe I
swore I saw him talking to some blonde haired white girl.
Yeah, or it could have been a thing like
only one person can understand me,
or nobody can, and only we can.
Oh, okay. Oh, like Stewie.
Yeah, but that's not always the case. They be understanding what Stewie says sometimes. No. They're like, Stewie, don't talk to your mother like that. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, they do that.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Clifford is not Stewie.
Alright, so I think that might be it for what we've been watching.
Yeah, so let's move on to our next topics, which are the trending ones. So, on to trending topics. At the beginning of the podcast, she started with, like, duh, baby. And, I just feel like I have there's a D there. There's a D there.
That's what you said.
Being a shithead. So I'm sure you know, and I just saw some other stuff like a non-apology. But he performed at Rolling Loud. Rolling Loud was this weekend, super spreader event. Lots of people are gonna test positive for COVID. They either took it there with them or they caught it there. I also like to scroll on Twitter, and some woman, she was like, I work in the ER in Arkansas, and they have no beds in the ICU. They called five surrounding states. They don't have beds either. So COVID cases are going back up again. But anyway, Rolling Out happened this weekend, I guess, which I thought it was later this year, but maybe it is already later this year, and I just am not keeping up with time. But he performed his set after Megan Thee Stallion. The first offense was bringing out Tory Lanez in some really terrifying mascot costume, and then they also performed the song that they have together in between two songs that he has with Megan Thee Stallion, all over like some tweets on Twitter or something like that. It's just really, it's not like that's her ex-boyfriend and they just broke up and they were just talking shit on each other because they broke up or something. Like, that man shot at her, whatever. Yeah, and you decided to side with him when you could have, like, you didn't have to do that. He snuck him in there, but whatever. He did that. Somebody threw a shoe at him. That was cool. And then
it wasn't a shoe. It was an Adidas, a goddamn Adidas.
Oh, that's what he said?
Yeah.
I don't. Yikes.
Who threw that busted ass goddamn Adidas?
He's so corny. And then at the end of his set, the conclusion, after, he's had what he would probably call a successful lit ass set. Shut up. He then starts with these homophobic and like stigmatizing HIV statements where basically it's like you know how DJs are like, oh, put your hands up if you got $1 bill, if you got $10, if you ain't got no baby daddies or which is also shitty. But people just like crowd participation, trying to hype the crowd back up or something, like, I guess because he had a performance and maybe they weren't hyping enough for him.
Those are the strangest.
They are. They are. Put your hands up if you got real hair on your head. And it's like, I do under this wig, bitch. Like, shut up. But he was saying stuff like, if you weren't sucking dick in a parking lot, and it was all about gay men. It was all very much gay sex related. And then if you're a gay man, you don't have HIV and you're not dirty and something. And I'm gonna tell you here right fucking now, as someone who has been tested for HIV several times, every time I go to every time I get blood work done at the doctor or I go to the gynecologist, I ask explicitly to be tested for every single STI, STD, including HIV. Although I'm in a monogamous relationship, I continue to get tested, mostly because I feel like I should. It's like, it can be really nerve-wracking to do so, and it's also just checking in on your health. So, and also, stuff like HIV can pop up much later than when you probably were exposed to it. But that's just a tidbit. But anyway, as someone who routinely enough gets tested and has hosted testing and knows people that does like HIV and AIDS research for medication and stuff, the things that he said are not even just insensitive, as he said in his non-apology. That stuff contributes to the very harmful stigma of being HIV positive, and also contributes to the deadly homophobia that queer people experience, especially Black queer people. And it's really sickening how HIV is always tied to Black gay men or Black queer men specifically. It's often something that when a child comes out to their parent, they're like, you're going to get HIV. It's like the first thing they say, and it's like, that's not how that works. It's not like, oh, I came out as gay and HIV like sifts through the universe to come find me, and it, like, that's not how that works. And it's just really shitty. HIV is a livable virus. Excuse me. It's also something that you can protect yourself from. There is pre-exposure prophylaxis, where you take it. If you take PrEP routinely, you cannot contract HIV. If you think you were exposed to HIV from whatever, there is PEP, which is post-exposure prophylaxis. I'm having a difficult time with words, but you take that sort of like how you take Plan B after you think you might be pregnant or potentially on the way pregnant or something like that. And also, if you are HIV positive, medication has developed to the point where if someone is routinely and correctly taking their medication that is HIV positive, they cannot transmit the virus to someone, even if they're having unprotected sex. It is the slogan is U equals U, undetectable equals untransmittable. And not many people know that. Not many people are even getting tested, which I know that man is not getting tested. I doubt he even got a COVID test before he went there. And it's very interesting that you're talking about a virus that is spread through certain activities when you're at an event where people getting exposed to people who were already sick with COVID. There's one girl who put herself on blast on Twitter. She was like, oh my God, I feel so sick, before she went to Rolling Loud, and then she just got a COVID test and she's positive for COVID, which means she got it before she went there, because your COVID test will least likely be positive if you were just exposed and you just got tested a day or two after you were possibly exposed. There were 80,000 people there, and they all travel for wherever the fuck they travel to, and they all going back to wherever they going back to, and they taking that shit with them, whether they were vaccinated or not, because you can still contract COVID with a vaccine. It's not a cure. It is a protective measure against the deadly symptoms, and it most likely won't end you up in the hospital. So with all that said, fuck that man for saying any of that shit, because the first person I thought of, back to a RuPaul's Drag Race reference, Trinity K. Bonet, they're very open about being an HIV positive person and talking about PEP and PrEP and everything. There are so many, and also it's just really shitty how there are so many gay people during the late 80s, early 90s who are gone, just completely dead, and were just wasted away because there wasn't any medication at the time. And in fact, AIDS, which is not the same as HIV, you contract HIV, if it's not treated, it develops into AIDS. But AIDS at the time was called GRID, which is gay-related immunodeficiency disease. Like, it was specifically said that you can only get it if you're gay. And that stigma still stands, but that's not the truth. And he was talking about someone, a story like, oh, my fans. And then he tried to double down before he said it's not an apology about how he was like, oh, I was just trying to say, like, I fuck with my gay fans, and my gay fans ain't dirty, and they ain't no junkies. And it's like, having an STI, listen, having an STI or an STD, including HIV, does not make one dirty. Y'all aren't calling people out here who got COVID dirty. Y'all ain't out here calling people who get cancer dirty. It's a virus or an infection that you get that is either livable or treatable. Just like somebody that gets chlamydia or gonorrhea or syphilis or herpes or anything like that. None of these people are dirty, and calling people dirty and being so aversive to it is continuing a stigma where people will not even go get tested for this stuff and end up developing even more illnesses like liver failure and all kind of shit from like not getting chlamydia taken care of, or not getting gonorrhea taken care of, or not going to get tested to see if they're HIV positive. It's hella people walking out here who won't get tested because they think, oh, it's not going to happen to me, or are too scared to come to that reality, and they end up dying. Like, and this goes back to like my philosophy in life. Everything's fucking connected. Y'all being slightly homophobic, talking about sucking dick in the parking lot and being dirty with HIV, that shit leads to people being murdered and people dying. Like, this shit is not like some jokey ass shit. Like, and people think that I'd be so oversensitive, or any queer people be oversensitive, but like this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really leads to people dying.
I think someone is oversensitive about it, they don't understand the weight of the stigmas and the fact that people are being killed out in the street by like strangers because of what's been projected on them, or what they believe is the case about somebody. So it's something to keep in mind. about these kind of things. Like, it's dangerous. And
like, words have so much meaning and so much power, and it's like, it sounds so cheesy and so like...
And then, like, in his apology, then he's like, oh, yeah, like, what did he say? He's like, oh, you don't know what it's like to be...
And then he's going to try and, like, tie it to black culture. Like, homophobia is not black culture.
First of all, it was your idea to do this strange slight.
And why is that what's in... Why is that on your mind after what, again, he would call probably a lit-ass, successful-ass set that he had? Why are you worried about niggas sucking dick in a parking lot?
Spiraling. Like, it's just when people, I think when artists start, like, I'll just use for an example, not to take focus off of what you're saying, is towards the end of Tupac's career, he just started accusing people of all kinds of different things, and like, I mean, he was murdered, but there was other things that were going on. Like, usually if someone is like
spiraling like that,
like they start to point the finger at people. They're saying, there's something.
And we are not saying that man is probably gay, because we're not going to link people being homophobic to being gay. I'm just wanted to say that out loud, because sometimes, everybody who's homophobic is not secretly gay.
The fact that he felt the need to, like, bring Tory... I mean, he had a song with him. Okay, but you just did your set with Meg, and then you bring Tory Lanez out. It's no way that can be perceived but as like, this is who I'm. This is my man, and this is the horse in the race that I'm running.
Right.
With. Like, this is who I got my money on. This guy. Come on, let's go.
Right.
Like, this is my guy.
And then to add insult to injury, your whole entire set was just targeting marginalized people. For what reason? I don't know. Because Tory Lanez could have just not been there. You could have played his verse.
And it could have been him trying to be like a friend to him, right? But then
friend to somebody who if you're a friend to somebody, you probably call him to the fucking carpet.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
I know.
He could have been.
Don't need no damn advocate.
He could have been like, oh, this is my pal. But then everything afterward that led after that is like, you're just
doubling down and just you make
yourself look.
It's like the Emperor's New Clothes. Like, you're naked. No, I'm not. No, absolutely not. In fact, this is the finest linen. This is the latest collection from Dior, baby. I am not naked. And it's like, no, you're naked. And just like doubling and tripling down on whatever's going on, and you just look foolish in the end. And then to add insult to injury, T motherfucking I got the nerve to open his goddamn mouth. You don't need to say anything, sir. You have lots of allegations about sex trafficking, and I believe also sex trafficking minors. Jesus. You don't need to say anything, but he came out and was like, oh, if Lil Nas X can say what he wants to say, then the baby can say what he wants to say. When I really get annoyed when people get mad for being held accountable for the shit that they say. Lil Nas X is not out here saying and doing what he needs to do, and nobody's saying anything about it. You literally, like, there are people who are hella mad about it, and, you know, asking for him to be an HIV/AIDS advocate, and it's like, y'all not asking for the baby to be a gonorrhea or syphilis advocate when he was semen boarding on that girl's tongue in his music video, because you could definitely catch syphilis, gonorrhea, or herpes, or even chlamydia in the mouth and the throat, and it could develop into cancer if it's not, you know, but nobody's asking him to be an advocate for any of that stuff, or safe oral sex, you know, using flavored condoms or anything. Like, no, none of that was asked of him, but it's asked of Lil Nas X. But nobody's saying that the baby can't say anything that they're saying. We're saying it's fucked up. You can say whatever you want. And also, this free speech thing, it refers to the government not, like, withholding your freedom to say whatever you want. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna call you out on that shit. You probably shouldn't say that. That's really fucked up. And then if you want to say, go ahead and be a fucked up person. That's fine. But, like, what Lil Nas X does and what the baby did are not anywhere near the same thing. Lil Nas X is out here, like, he's actually pretty nervous about a lot of the stuff that he's doing. But he's also a fucking internet troll. And the way that people responded, apparently they recorded that video 2 days after the BET Awards.
Yeah, I remember.
So he was like, bitch, let's add fuel to the fire. We're dancing butt-ass naked, which they were probably wearing, like, skin-tone underwear. It was intentional, but it was intentional on multiple levels. Like, I'm about to piss all these fucking people off, but I really want to be out there. You know, I want to do that out there stuff. Like, I only got this one chance, and it's a good fucking song, but I only got this one chance in this lifetime, in this moment right now, especially because I'm so young to do all of it. You know what I'm saying? Who knows how long this is going to last for me? I mean, I don't think he's thinking he's going to, you know, fizzle out, but he's also living in the moment, and that's not the same thing as what the baby said. He said some very stigmatizing and horrible things.
I don't know if you think
but
that,
also, T.I., shut the fuck up. Like, just shut up. Like, It's also really annoying how these quote unquote veteran unquote rappers in the game think that their word is bond. Yeah. Like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna step in and say something because the youth don't know what's really. No, bitch, you don't know what the fuck is going on. You don't know what's happening. You don't know anything. You don't even know how to wear a hat correctly. Like, shut up. It's so annoying. Like, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. So you can just shut your mouth up. But also, speaking of Lil, I mean, you can also speak.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I was about to say T.I. is like the last person
to open his fucking mouth about anything just because you know SAT words.
Like T.I. I don't know how he got that role as like the spokesman.
They just kind of give themselves that because they're, you know, they like, and also y'all aren't talking about things that are in your expertise. You're not talking about music. You're not talking about lyricism.
If he was talking about like gun charges and like
right.
Yeah,
you know,
like trapping and shit and like trying to get kids out the hood. Like,
sure,
that could have been that's
your arena, right?
Yeah, we can go with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, or giving
they think they're supposed to be
people a choice. Like when they trying to transit, they trying to get out the hood and
they
shit.
self-dub themselves as like the leaders in the hip hop community.
I'm not really looking to T.I. about anything else but about that.
But y'all aren't leaders because y'all don't be holding nobody fucking accountable for a goddamn thing they be doing.
They feel like whatever's be going on in their life, they be feeling like they leaders. And
absolutely, and just because you're from Atlanta and you know you're a big name from there and everything,
all got
it means nothing,
platforms and you know what I mean, they're being put on pedestals, so they're gonna speak, and I don't know, bro. I just don't remember when that began.
I mean, he's older now.
Like, I remember, like,
he's shifted into like the Family Man. We had that Family TV show, so it's like he's made that shift into being an elder in the community.
I missed that. I didn't. Definitely.
I mean, I just recognize it. People like him and Boosie, all these ignoramus ass niggas
Boosie,
be
again,
opening their fucking mouths.
The last nigga.
Man.
Wasn't you just on death row? You the last nigga I want to hear anything about.
But it's like these are men who they already had their time. You know, they were already like at the top of the charts and they were young and they was touring, do all this stuff. They've done their part and now they're vets in the game and they're like the elders of the community. Like, at the time if Tupac and Biggie were alive, they would have become the elders just because they've been in the game for a minute. So they're like, listen here, cousin. Wait, what are they called? Nephew. Listen here, nephew.
Talking about
like Snoop Dogg, all them. Like they feel like they're because they're older and they've been doing this and they've been in the game for so long. Yeah, they are self-dubbed, and it's like, baby, I'm not listening to you.
If there's anything that they need to be talking to people about, they need to be talking about rappers getting Airbnbs.
They need to talk about contracts. That's what they need to talk about. And we was talking about that earlier with Mace.
We talked about that, about contract. Like, you need somebody...
Performance quality.
Somebody should be going to, like, schools and teaching kids about the structure of contracts and teaching... Like, there's a lot more good that you can do in that area than I think there is you saying anything about, like, identities and... Like any of that.
Y'all need to go like
hip hop in general. Like especially if you're like a cis man and you're in hip hop, you probably don't really need to speak on anything about it.
Right. You could probably just
leave that. Just leave that alone. Yeah. And just leave that whole area alone. Because I think a lot of men from certain ages are ill-equipped to deal with that because of their brainwashing. Because of how they were like.
They really just think they know it all. And I think that's what I was talking to you about before. Like all these people who were really big at the time and they think that
except for treat people with respect. That's probably what the only thing you need to say.
Right.
Is treat people with respect.
I also think some other things that they could be doing is like helping or creating some opportunities for these new artists to be able to hone in on their craft and like build their craft and all that kind of stuff. Y'all just be talking shit on people. Yeah, contracts is a big thing.
It's a major thing because every day I wake up, Ed brought up the story to me just before we started recording about Mace and Diddy. And I mean, any person that has been alive long enough knows Diddy's track record with any artist he's ever signed. There's never been a good outcome. Never, ever, ever, ever. Ever. There's never been an artist.
Where's the band? Another Doug.
No one. I mentioned to Eb, and I could be wrong about this, but the only reason I say her name is because I just recently seen her with him. So that to me is a notion that they're on good terms to a certain degree. But Mary J. Blige, and that's it. Not even Kim, because Kim has one of the people that the whole camp screwed her over. She'll tell you straight up, like, And I think that they've buried the hatchet, but I'm pretty sure she still feels like these motherfuckers owe her money.
Yeah.
Owe her all kinds of things. But yeah, bro, like Puff is not that guy. Like Puff will rip you. He will take you
for all you got.
For everything if he can, and
if you allow him to, yeah.
But that's the game though, and I feel like he's one of those industry people that he's a real business. He's into that, like, I'm gonna do you over if you're not covered on all fronts. And somebody should be teaching kids and artists and everyone to be covered on all fronts, how they can cover themselves on all fronts. But the reason why they aren't teaching people that is because they don't want you to be knowledgeable about that, so they can rip you themselves.
Yeah.
Why would I give you the game? It's like if I'm playing a video game with my friend, I done took the time to learn the game, and me and my friend pick up to play the game. I'm not going to tell this nigga every single move in the book. He got to learn the moves just like I got to move. I'm gonna be kicking your ass until you figure out
but
the
if
game.
you want to sit here and preach like, I'm a vet here and I'm the one that's supposed to, it's
wrong.
like,
it's absolutely
bitch, you're not.
It's wrong. And I was using that example as a way to try and like get across the mentality that someone like Puff has, but like that ain't.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like you should just speak on the things that you know about. I'm never going to talk about basketball. I never am.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know these things.
Cis men in hip hop from ages.
Cis straight men in hip hop.
Cis straight men in hip hop from ages this to this. Just leave your go-to move. Your go-to move like a reverse layup or like your back down post shot whatever.
No clue what the fuck they're talking about.
All of that, just go straight to treat people with respect, regardless of what they believe.
Yeah, it's just like just stop opening y'all, and it's so wild because it's not even like somebody asked. Y'all just come out your mouth and just be saying stuff, and you should just probably not talk on things that you don't know about. That's pretty simple. Or also, you probably shouldn't talk while you have multiple sexual, sex trafficking and sexual assault cases against you, because you could also fuck shit up for. Which I mean, I'm all for. Let the chips fall where they may. If there are other people out in this industry who are tied to that
sex trafficking charge, there's got to be something to it. There's a ring of sex trafficking connected to you, then I feel like
connected. They were apparently running it.
There's something. That's what I'm saying. Like like just connected to your name. You
should probably shut the fuck up.
Not even that.
Probably disappear. And then he's got this last album that's supposed to be coming out called "Kill the King" or "Dead King" or something. And that's also a thing. Like people are like, T.I.'s the king of the South, or he did that himself. People went with it, but whatever. It's just like he's just the latest person. I'm pretty sure Snoop Dogg might open his whack ass mouth and say something about it too. It's always cis straight men who come out who have always been homophobic, either slightly or or extremely, to like back up these people instead of, I don't know, doing a quick Google search or just scrolling through Twitter and seeing people who actually are living with HIV or actually are people who sucking dick in the parking lot to tell you like why this is actually a bad thing. It's just people don't want to listen. It's the same thing. Anybody who's in a position of privilege, whether it's white people or straight people or able people, like able-bodied people who are not disabled, whenever you point out like that was not a good thing that you did, that stigmatized or further oppressed or disadvantaged me as a marginalized person, there is no like, wow, I'm so sorry I hurt you. It's like, I didn't do that. I'm not a bad person. It's like, I never said that. I just pointed something out to you. People just get so defensive and don't actually listen. And they're worried about being canceled. Again, cancel culture is not a real thing. Kevin Hart has a career. Charlamagne the God has has done so many horrendous things on that fucking radio show. He has said explicitly out his mouth he has used Spanish Fly to try and have sex with somebody, which is sexual assault. And yet this man has a late night talk show with produced by Stephen Colbert. Cancel culture is not fucking real. But Bill Cosby just got out of jail. Cancel culture is not fucking real. It's not real. Y'all just don't want to be called out for your bullshit and held accountable. The only people who are canceled No,
not even that. I was about to say the only people that believe that cancel culture is a thing is like media outlets. I don't even think.
No, people think it's real. People complain about it all the time.
Tory Lanez just tweeted something where he was like, "Cancel culture is not a thing." He's like, "It's just a group of people that's on Twitter that are just saying like this, and that."
That's because he's trying to discount anybody who's coming at him for some shit.
But I'm saying though, like the fact that he, as a person who's dealing with that, Like,
so you're not on social media as much as I am, and it's hella celebrities and regular ass people who are like, y'all always want to cancel somebody. Like, cancel culture is killing. I can't stand cancel culture. Y'all always trying to like, people really think it's a thing. It's not a thing, baby. It's not a thing. The people who do get canceled are people who end up more disadvantaged. Like, women, or just people who call out their sexual abuser and take them to court. They're the ones who get canceled. People who record police brutality, they're the ones who get canceled. They're the ones who get hunted down, like you said. What is it? Gang stalked by police and the FBI and all that kind of stuff. Those are the people that get canceled. Literally and figuratively. Like, a lot of Ferguson activists, when the Ferguson uprising, what happened, all of those people were murdered. Like, those are the people that really get canceled, wiped out. For real. And all these really rich, successful people, like,
that shit's cat.
Y'all aren't canceled. Y'all still make your money off your royalties and everything. Like, yeah, you lose your brand deals. Maybe you should have shut your fucking mouth when you're talking about things you don't know about. Talk about music. If y'all want to talk about Coyle Ray's performance, sure, go ahead. Maybe y'all need to open your mouth about that. Somebody go help that girl out, because I think she's not even connected to her dad. Somebody need to go help that girl out. Please. Because I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Go help that girl out, because the crowd wasn't feeling it. Out here sounding like MCP pants from fucking Aqua Teen Hunger Force. But yeah, talk about the shit you know, and that goes for me, everybody else. Speaking of Lil Nas X though, the video was fantastic. Stop it! Oh my god, we're about to end this right now. Don't stop. Because we watched the Industry Baby video, no lie, maybe 15, 20 times the night it came out. Yeah. And we were just up. We didn't stay up to watch it, but we just happened to be up. I was like, okay, let's watch it. And I watched it, and I always feel like a proud big cousin, big sister, whatever. When I see his stuff, I'm like, yes, baby, you better be gay as hell.
Yeah, making people mad. We've been hearing that snippet since, like...
Yeah, I mean, he's great at marketing. He's been promoting that song. He gave a snippet of it in October. Yeah, it's been... And he's been using it on TikTok ever since. And, well, he was using Montero on TikTok for a while, and then it came out, and then he was using this song on there. And Scoop is another song that he uses on TikTok from time to time. But because I guess this video was coming out soon, he started doubling down on Industry Baby. I look forward to... He did the same thing with Holiday.
I look forward to seeing, like, when he, talks about the influence, like, what's the inspiration behind the music video, like what he was thinking, because we haven't really heard, because it just came out,
right? Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah,
so everybody's still watching it, still seeing it, still digesting it, but like, because I feel like it was
metaphoric.
No, I mean, yeah, of course, with him like coming out, but then also like, I felt like it was made of like his influencers and stuff, like about what
Because you mentioned the prison scene, like the end one is very like similar to Lil Wayne's. It looks
a lot like the Go DJ video. It makes me think a lot about like the Go DJ music video, Lil Wayne's. Even he had there's like a red star tattoo on his chest, kind of like Wayne's. I know Wayne has like a couple red stars on him, but I think he got one like near his throat and stuff. So I thought maybe that there might have been like a connection there with that, and like how they broke out and Go DJ as well. But I also think there's, like movie reference, like most music videos are kind of like that, where it's like a hodgepodge of different things and shit. But yeah, I think that there's more to the video. Yeah, more to the music video. I mean,
he wrote the whatever for it, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called, but he did the thing. He made the story. And what's the name?
Most importantly, I think the song is hot. Like,
yeah, it's a really good song.
And I think the
choreography was great.
Not only is the music video,
they were all black,
historic in the sense that like he's a like rap pop star with outwardly.
I mean, he said he was a pop star like Bieber.
Yeah, and I mean that's how I think he's like rap pop.
Yeah,
he's in that like Nicki, like Nicki, but it's historic in that way. But then I think the song is also historic in the sense that it's probably one of the first major hip hop pop releases where like it's using like hip hop jargon, hip hop beat, and he's just outwardly out. Now we know that there's not mainstream artists who are outwardly out and make music. Some who are friends of yours, and things like that, but. It's the first like mainstream artist to be like, I'm not fucking bitches, I'm queer. Like that line alone to me, like it's big like a Ye bar where Ye might have said like I'm a god.
I was gonna say mayonnaise colored Ben Just push Miracle Whips.
Yeah, I mean that's just a bar. This is a hard bar.
I don't know. I'm just
saying. But like saying I'm a god, like saying I'm a god. Yeah. That's nobody has ever on a record been like I'm a god.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that people sometimes we kind of like we overlook that where it was there's never been that.
I mean, because it was Kanye West, so it was like
to be
we're not
to
surprised
kind of
that you say that.
He turned. Well, I mean, there was also an interview first, you know. Whatever,
yeah.
But just this, somebody is like, I'm a black guy and I'm a guy, and I also have a relationship with Jesus, and that dichotomy like that make like in my mind that makes sense. I am a God and I have a relationship with Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's said that we're made in
God's image, yeah, and that's where he was coming from. I mean, the first thing I can think of that's closer, of course, you know, the nation is not nation. He's a 5%ers, whatever. They've always been calling themselves gods and shit, but not in the sense where it was just a song outright about how I'm a god, and
then over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. So and then we got Lil Nas X, and I'm not comparing them. I'm saying it's the scale of like we've never heard somebody in a song just. And I remember hearing a snippet, and that kind of always fucked with me because it was like a trap beat, like you know that the sound of the song, and then
the horns in the beginning.
Yeah, we've just never heard a trap song where it's like, yeah, nigga, I'm gay, like, and I'm making it hot, like, you know what I'm saying? Like as a rapper, that's kind of the shit that I'm doing. I'm making it hot, like. And
there's so many grown like black gay men that like I follow on Twitter or that have been retweeted on Twitter, whatever. Who are like, I really wish I had this when I was growing up. Because I probably would have been, who knows what I would have done? Who knows what things I would have accomplished or even attempted to do because I felt more confident in who I was as a person. Or,
even celebrate, like, it's celebrated in a sense where, like.
It's just a thing.
Yeah, it's just a thing. And that's what hip hop is essentially all about is the shit that I'm on is hot automatically. That's just what hip hop is. Like, oh, this is my DJ. That's how it started. This is my DJ's hot because it's my DJ. I'm spitting, I'm hot, nigga, automatically.
Yeah.
Or I got this gold watch, or whatever watch I got, this shit is hot.
I got a paper towel around
nigga,
my
I'm
head.
queer, this shit is hot. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like Gerald from Hey Arnold.
Yeah, it's hot. Automatically.
I'm talking about Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then people were, some probably white queer person wrote an article like, something to the, I didn't read it because I don't care that much. But something to the degree like Adam Lambert walked so that Lil Nas X could fly kind of notion. I don't think they said that, but it was sort of that thing. And it's kind of like, baby, black queer people have been... Who the fuck is RuPaul?
Yeah, come on,
First of all, who the fuck is Sylvester? Okay? Like, decades before Adam Lambert. Little Richard, okay?
The biggest... You can ask any rock artist ever who their favorite rock artist is, and they'll say... Little Richard. The Beatles, their favorite music, or every single one of the Beatles, that's what they had in common. Who was their number one favorite music artist? Little Richard.
And Little Richard is a queen, baby.
Yeah,
he went back into the closet, but come on.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, for real, dog. And put some respect on his name, bro. And I think that's one of the issues with like modern societies that we kind of lose connection to what has already happened.
Yeah.
People are kind of like nigga, we've seen this. We did
this already.
Yeah, right. We've done this. Like on this scale, you know what I'm saying? Like Prince was never like admittedly queer, but we got a guy who he's clearly like a
queer gender expression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, come on now, don't
very
do that.
Erotic.
Yeah, don't even do that. Yeah, don't. I just hate that, bro. It kind of
Adam Lambert of all the white gays.
No,
of all the white gays, Adam Lambert. I mean, I didn't really follow his career anyway.
Frida, you ain't even say free. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah,
Get
Big
the fuck
Frida's out here. Like, it's silly. It's just really silly to do that. And I think that was a white queer corner trying to take ownership of Lil Nas X's outness and everything.
Yeah, it's a big deal in the sense that what does it mean to like little black gay kids that are growing up?
Exactly.
And
like
their idea of themselves, because how many, like, if you don't have any like icon or you don't see yourself out there,
don't see yourself,
it's completely different. Even for like cisgender straight boys, where it's like I don't see cisgender black straight boys. I
mean, what were they doing?
I don't see no. Yeah, I don't see no. Oh yeah, like you don't have somebody to skateboard. Like all those people that are in that lane, they say all the time when they get on a pedestal about what it was for Pharrell to exist for them, because I got a nigga that's into the shit that I'm into, that's riding skateboards,
and everybody loves him. Everybody's hiring him. He's on everybody's song.
And he's on that wave. Like, what? That shit meant like a big deal. So I think anybody, regardless of your identity or like whatever your beliefs, you have to appreciate that. Like you got to, bro, because everybody ain't gonna be in the same lane. Everybody's expressions aren't gonna be the same, bro. Just, it's a reality of existence. That's just it. And the more valid people feel, the more free and able to express themselves or just exist. Because some people can't even, they don't even feel like they can even exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because they feel like they can't be themselves. So they'll just kill themselves. Yeah.
And that's not an exaggeration.
Not an exaggeration at all. Like, it's a reality. And I think it's got to get to a point where people have to recognize that, like, bro, like, people need this, and you can believe what you want, but you can't step on somebody else's expression or of themselves. Like,
especially when it's not harming or hurting.
Yeah, anybody. Like, and then it ain't the case, bro. Like, but yeah, it's a hot record. Industry baby.
What about what?
I said it's a crazy record, like that song.
Oh yeah, it's great. Ooh, it's great. It's a really great. It's just great. It's great. I'm not gonna say it again. I don't know what was in my head as another trending topic. I can't remember at all. I guess that'll be it, unless you had something. I can't remember at all. So that's all for trending topics. I guess we'll wrap up the show.
I
don't know. Like, because we did it backwards, so now I'm kind of lost.
Did we do it back? Actually, I think the structure of this episode is
better.
Has been the most ideal, because we got, like, we mentioned what we would talk about at the end and the beginning. And they do that, like, in YouTube videos and, like... So, unintentionally, you know, even though we switch back.
I mean, we're getting it together. We're kind of just...
No, it's together.
Shooting the shit.
It's together, baby. Okay. Yeah.
That's okay.
But, yeah, we would love to hear from any of our listeners. Ab, you want to share your socials? Your Twitter?
Yeah, I'll share.
Or
in closing. So thanks so much for listening to this episode of A Couple of Opinions, or a coup, as the acronym is. I'm Ebony. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TheBusyBee, or on Instagram at Raging Black Girl, all one word. And
LaRon, he, him, they, them. You can find me on Instagram, Phirld, PHIWRLD. And
until next time, that's it.
Stay safe. Don't die.
Yeah, don't be spreading COVID. Wear your masks.
Well, that's...
Well, you said stay safe. That's what comes to mind to me.
Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe.
No, stay wise. I heard somebody say that.
That's good.
So stay wise.
Stay wise.
Until next time.
Stay wise. Bye.